The reason why I don't really trip about people not liking us, in the book of John, chapter 18, the scripture reads, these things, I'm starting at 17, these things I command you, that ye love one another. See, what y'all do in the Christian churches, y'all take these quotes that Christ make with the children of Israel, and then y'all apply them quotes to everybody. But it don't mean that. So it says, if the world hates you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you. So when we come out here into the world, we know we're going to be hated. Christ said, listen, if they hate you, just know they hated me before they hate you. Let's keep going. And if you were of the world, then the world would love his own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hates you. Christ pulled us out the world. The Most High pulled us out the world, not the planet, the world that we lived in, the governing body. He said, I pulled you out of that. And if they hated me, you best believe they're going to hate you. I chose you. Why wouldn't they hate you? You know? He said that we was going to separate. He said, if I was of the world, then the world will love me. What do that mean? I mean, if I was doing all the things they do in the world, in society, I like to eat pork, shrimp, crab, lobster. I like men, women, kids. I'm into everything because that's what they teach in America, in the world we live in over here. So he said that if you were of the world, then the world would love his own. It would love his own. That's why you have churches and different bodies protect certain things that go on in a church because of their world. But you got to hate the world you in. So Christ let us know if they hated us, then they for sure gonna hate you. So now, what I want to do is this. I like looking up history and talking about history. Because a lot of people come up with these theories that somebody created the Israelites. You know who created the Israelites? I'm about to tell y'all a secret today. I'm going to get it off my chest. I'm going to tell y'all who created the Israelites. Because I know everybody always talking about who started the Israelites, who started it. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, me and my brothers, when we ask you when they ask who started these things, this is what we need to tell them. And this is what I love to tell them. Well, actually, the Most High started the Israelites. And you say, well, how he started the Israelites? Well, Jacob's name was turned into Israel. He had 12 sons. These 12 sons will become the patriots of the children of Israel. So when y'all ask questions or people say somebody started the Israelites, the Most High started the Israelites. So y'all ain't got to keep trying to put Ben or different names to say started the Israelites. The Israelites existed throughout the Bible. And what we come out here to try to tell y'all is y'all don't understand what y'all reading. So what I'm going to do is go into historical records. I'm talking about this prove that everything we say we can back up with historical records. Now I'm going to read to you from a page from Babylon Timbuktu, but not just a black author. This is for all the white folks who like to say Christ looked Middle Eastern. I'm going to read to you what the Middle Eastern scholars say what Christ was. I'm going to read to you what the Middle Eastern scholars say happened to the children of Israel. This way we can't keep using that lie. Well, Christ looked like he was Middle Eastern. He was Middle Eastern. Christ didn't never look like he was Middle Eastern. Christ didn't look no Middle Eastern. So when I hear that Christ looked at Middle Eastern, I have to push back against that. So now this is what I'm about to do. I'm about to go to these scholars, and we're going to read exactly what the scholars think about this. So wait a minute. All right. So now, this is the reason why I'm going through more than one book. So I'm going to read you some things, and we go from there. So now, I'm trying to get this for y'all. I'm gonna read to y'all three Arab scholars. I'm gonna read to y'all about a guy named Josephus. He was a Roman. He wrote in 75 AD. 75, you got to realize, let me read this to you out of Babylon 2 book 2. Now I'm going to take you from this history book. We're going to go from the Bible, from Deuteronomy. We're going to his historical book, and then we're going to go to Josephus, a Roman scholar, three Arab scholars from the 10th century, the 13th century, the 14th century, and everyone I'm going to tell you that the Jews fled into the west coast of Africa. So that's what everything. So now let me read something to you. This is this book. It says, in the year 65 BC, the Roman army under General Pompeius captured Jerusalem in 70 AD. General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state with great slaughter. During the period of the military governors of Palestine, many outrageous and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people. During the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery. The slave markets were full of Black Jews. So now, can I find this outside this history book? We're going to go to it. I love to do this because people keep feeling like, how do we come up and say we the Israelites? Well, we have plenty of books to back this up and historians to back this up. So I don't want y'all to think we just woke up one morning and said, damn, I'm Israel, like a lot of religions lie on us about. So what I'm about to do is show you a migration pattern of the people they say were the Israelites migrated to the west coast of Africa. Okay. Let me slow down some. I want to get these Arab scholars for y'all. So now, even when they use this narrative, it's still the Israelites. What I'm reading to you is historical. It said the transatlantic slave trade narrative is incomplete, not false. It's true that millions of Africans were enslaved and brought to America. That's solidly documented. But it is not true that every person labeled Black in early America came from that system. So they said, well, we saying like not everybody Black came from that transatlantic slave system. Let's keep going. Many free Africans, Afro-indigenous and dark-skinned native people exist alongside the enslaved population. So now, you might ask, well, what they get? So when we tell y'all, some of us came over here doing the transatlantic slave trade, but some of us left earlier. Ones that left earlier, they didn't go through the transatlantic slave trade. Our migration, that's the northern, I'm gonna say the southern, we had a farther draft. So when you talking about when we went to west coast of Africa, you probably talking about over 1,000 years ago. I mean, over 1,000 years. So within that time period, the Northern Kingdom had a lot of them had already left. So when we talk about our indigenous brothers, our native brothers, we know the cultural practices that they. So I want to get down to. Reclassification and identity shift did happen. You're bringing up something that's real when you talk about the records changing categories. In the 18th and 19th century, governments and census systems did start forcing people to rigid racial labels like black, white, and freedmen. So it was about reclassification. They reclassified us. They knew who he was, but they Freemans, mulattoes, and Negroes. What I'm reading to you is historical facts. I'm not, you can look this up. Reclassification of blacks being reclassified from natives and Hebrews to blacks to mulattoes, Freemans. This is what the system did. It's something that the government established. It was a government thing to say they will stop another black messiah from rising. This is when they killed Martin Luther King, Malcolm X got killed. They were killing the Black Panther power. They was killing everything off to stop the same thing you see General Yahana doing. That's what they stop, a black uprising. So let's keep going. Let me drill down a little bit more. Hold on, let me drop down some more. So now, when I read to you about West Africa, I'm gonna keep reading. He said, where the claims go too far is mixed and inaccurate. But that's not what the data shows. When my point was, when you take these DNA tests and they got you mixed with everything, the computer that's inaccurate. We ain't mixed with everything. Everybody be talking about we got some of everything in us. That's a lie. So it's saying what evidence actually says is more specific. Most African Americans trace their majority of their ancestry to the West and Central Africa. Many, not all, also have some European ancestry. You know why they say many, not all? This theory, when y'all say during slavery, we had to have white in us. Everybody got whiteness. You know why that's the dumbest shit to ever say? This is what you have to think. If the slave master had 200 slaves and 50 of them women, this is what you pay people say when you misquote history. You saying that the slave master got all 50 women pregnant. They all had kids, and their kids started to mix with. That's some of the stupidest shit I ever heard. They bred us like cattle. This is why the computer say all black people ain't got whiteness. All Africans have in them. This is just came out. You can look this up. They say they're starting to find more Spaniard blood in African Americans. You know why? Because when you think about Spain and Portugal, the Jews that came and also migrated out of Africa came out of Spain and Portugal. So now let's keep going on. Let me get down to it. Right. So now let me go where I'm going to. So it say you laid out a detail or a lot that you mentioned does connect to the real historical discussion about the Jewish communities in Africa. So now, what it's talking about when these Arabs starting to say, hey, the Jews migrated into Africa. I'm so glad that the Most High brought this war out because ain't nobody sitting around. Everybody's starting to tell now. You know how when you get mad, listen, I'm gonna tell you a secret I used to do. I used to always get cool with my woman's friend. And y'all might say, why? Why you be wanting to get cool with? Because when they fall out, she gonna tell you everything she was doing. Oh yeah, that time when they said we went out, me and this bitch ain't went out. That girl was lying. We went over, you know what I'm saying? So this is what's happening right now. Everybody's starting to tell them ain't the real Jews. So let's keep going. The identity of the ancient Israelites and how African descended people understood themselves historically. What they're saying is they understand what's going on historically. So the lies that's been told has been exposed. The Jewish Israelite communities in West Africa are historically real. So my question to you people is, if Jews was white, if Jews was Arab, why would they migrate to Africa or through Africa? Because they didn't look Arab. This is coming from Anu. His name is Khal Kohadan, about the Berber tribes and traditions linked some North African groups to Israelite ancestry. He wrote this in 1377. Then you have Ali Marazi or something, documented Jewish communities in parts of Africa in the Middle East. He wrote this in the 1400s. And he said, my medieval Arab sources do mention migration traditions, trade networks, and scattered Jewish populations across North and West Africa. He wrote this in the 10th century. So now, wait a minute. I got a Jew, I got what you would call an Arab. You know how white folks say Christ would have looked Arab, Middle Eastern? Why have all these historians from the Middle East? Write this name down. It's IBN / KHALDUN. He's an Arab from the 13th century. Said the Jews was black and they fled into the west coast of Africa. So we can't keep using that narrative. Christ looked Middle Eastern. This next guy's name is AL/MAQRIZI. He wrote this in the 14th century. And keep in mind, these three Arabs were in three different locations. One was up in Egypt, and the other two were scattered throughout the Middle East. One wrote in the 10th century, one wrote in the 13th century, one wrote in the 14th century. Three different geographic locations, and all of them were real known scholars. And all of them said the Jews were black and they fled into West Africa. So now, the reason why I'm saying that is because the next time I hear a lying nigga say, Christ looked Middle Eastern, when the Middle Easterns say he's black. So now these is Arab scholars. This is a black scholar saying that the Jews fled into Africa in 70 AD. Over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing Roman persecution. Slavery, the slave markets were full of Jewish slaves. So now he put this book together from his researching in 1988. Now, wait a minute. We have a black man wrote this in 88. We have three Arab scholars say this, and I'm about to blow your mind. This guy named Josephus, he wrote in 75 AD. That's like 5 years after 70 AD, and he wrote the Jews fled into Africa and northward. So now we have all these scholars telling you this. Why? Because this. I'll show y'all this. The pictures in here are ancient pictures. I don't want to keep hearing people say color don't matter. This don't matter. If you want to know what the Israelites teach, we teach history. We teach the truth of the Bible. We don't teach lies. Damn, this is going to mess my book up. Hold up. Damn, all the pages stuck together. Damn. All right. This is some of the history I show. You see this? These are Sumerians. These are the ancient people of Samaria. They were in that land before any Arabs or all them people came over there. These people were over there. I'm showing you ancient pictures. I'm showing you not no lies like the church produced. These are the people that would be in, quote, the Middle East. Did you see how they describe themselves? They sure don't look Middle Eastern to me. These are hieroglyphics on the wall, so this ain't something that we created. Look at these stones they wrote of themselves. Look at the color of the ancient Israelites. This is a picture white folks try to put to copy this picture and these pictures. They came up with this picture. When they look like this, white folks created this. Everything I'm showing you is historical records. If y'all want to know what the Israelites teach, we don't teach lies. You see this picture? This is a picture of Moses, ancient. These are stones and stuff that they sometimes compare different things to other Israelites. When they said David looked ruddy, this is what David, this is a ruddy. This is not the ruddy that Esau was. This is not Esau's ruddy. You see what ruddy people look like? It's a fragrant brownish color. A radiant brown. This is what King David looked like. This would be his complexion. And this is in Cairo, Egypt, one of the oldest pictures of Christ. So all these pictures I'm showing you of oldest picture of in Cairo, Egypt, he's black. You see what this say? The oldest known, the oldest known, the oldest known. That's what they say at the bottom. See, don't call us no liars. I'm reading to you where the Arabs say they fled in there. I'm giving you historical records outside the Bible. If you want to know what we teach the truth. It takes the truth. And you know why it matters? It matters because that's who Christ is coming to deal with. Stay where I'm at. And I'm gonna stay on my course, but Islam, we existed before Islam. Muhammad actually learned from the Jews. I know y'all might not want to hear that, but I'm giving you historical facts. Before Muhammad got in y'all had 365 gods. Islam did. Y'all had a god for every day of the week. Y'all had a sun god, a star god, a moon god. Y'all had God to fry chicken. Y'all had gods for every damn thing until he got with us and learned about one true God. That's the truth about Islam. But let me stay on my topic. Let me keep showing y'all historical records. You see this? This is the tribe of Judah. This is an ancient picture of Judah. This is what these people got. Why these pictures ain't up nowhere in America now? Can I find that in the Bible? Let's go to Jeremiah 14:2. Let's go to the Bible. We're going to let the Bible speak today. I'm going to come back to you. We're going to go back to Jeremiah, and I'm going to take you back to historical records. That's all I want to do. So we're going to go to Jeremiah 14:2. Y'all don't read these scriptures and y'all say it don't matter. If it didn't matter to my God, we wouldn't know how to do this. My God said he hid this from the wise and he gave this to the babies. And the reason why we know how to go in here and do this is because he ordained us to. He predestinated us to do this. And wasn't nothing gonna stop us. So us being hated by everybody when we go out and all that, Christ said, listen, they hated me, nigga. They gonna hate you. I don't think you nobody special. So this Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2. It said, Juneth mourneth, and the gates thereof are language. Gates are the protection. Judah is the people. We don't have no protection. Who is our protection? Who is our protection? Who is our leaders? We don't have leaders. LeBron James speaks for us. D.L. Hughley, who always urging black folks to go vote for Kamala Harris and be homosexuals, and he's a puppet for the Democratic Party. What black folks that we got that actually go to help us and not try to help some type of party? We don't have no more black leaders. So let's keep going. It said, Juneth mourneth, and the gates thereof there are a language. They are black unto the ground. They are black unto the ground. And you know how to prove that this is so official? If you get a new King James or any King James outside the 1611 version, they took that word black out of it. Ain't even in there. Look at some of your new Bibles. I bet you don't say Judah is black unto the ground. But I can show you historical pictures to match this up. This is a picture from the 16th century. The 16th century. I'm not giving you religion. I'm giving you historical records. Historical records is what I'm giving you. Even Ethiopia icons, they are black. All of them black. You know? So let's keep going. This is in the Byzantine Museum. He black. Black. These same pictures are up in the Russian icons. They even giving you maps. You hear that? Judah, west coast of Africa. A lot of you brothers don't even know. That's why a lot of us that came over here doing slaves, not our native brothers, that's where we came from, the west coast of Africa. I'm not going to give you no religion because I don't know religion. I'm giving you historical records. I'm giving you records from the Muslims. They telling you, hey man, them niggas was black. So now let's keep going. I hate when this thing flip like that. So now let me go to back to these scholars. Even when you say, this one say modern African Americans as a whole are biblical Israelites. You see me. I always go through this history with artificial intelligence. I love doing this. You know why? Because artificial intelligence has to go with records. So whatever the records say, it don't matter what a Christian say out of his mouth. If I know how to quote the historical records, it's going to come up and start telling the truth. Let me get back to where that's what I'm trying to figure out. So now let's keep going. It talks about the Jewish communities in Ethiopia, Groups in Sahel, West Africa, with traditions claiming Israelite descent. See, when they be saying we claiming Israelite descent, this is what y'all don't know what's taking place. What you're reading about what's taking place is what you're reading about when they say it's a case of this. When they say claiming, when they say when they went through, these explorers went in throughout West Africa and everything, and they watched the traditions of the people in that land. The people in that land say they were the descendants of the Israelites. So this is why they're saying, hey, they say they was Israelites. Now you might say, well, they lying. Why would they have to lie? They can just say they're an African tribe. This is what my captains mean when they say the Africans knew who they were taking. Spain and Portugal say they were looking for a certain group of people, so they knew exactly who they were taking. And that was prophesied in Deuteronomy 28 and 68 to happen. It said, but some Israelite descended groups existed in West Africa and is different from all African Americans are Israelites. This is where historians and genetics become more cautious. He said, it says some African groups, Judaism or claiming Israelite ancestry, possible ancient migrations and cultural exchanges. So they talk about how we migrated. Y'all be under the impression that when we fled into Africa, it just happened. When you read about the New Testament ain't right after the Greek captivity. It ain't just bam. Y'all be trying to look at it like, oh, it was the next day. The same day when they said the Most High created the world in 7 days, y'all be like, oh yeah, y'all think a 24-hour period. And that's not what's really saying. They say the evidence, it said the majority of Africans taken in the transatlantic slave trade were ethnically Israelites in the biblical sense. Most enslaved Africans came from a wide range of Yoruba, Igbo. I ain't about to go into all these African names. He said, some of them groups have had contact with Judaism or Israelite traditions on the word Jew and Israelite. This is where y'all get it wrong when we say we Israelites, but we Jews, and y'all think we confused. No, you confused, and let me help you. The computer helps break it down. On the word Jew and Israelite, you are correct on an important biblical point. According to Hebrew Bible and Old Testament, the Israelites descend from Jacob. The term Jew comes from the kingdom, tribe, Judah, after the split between the northern kingdom, Israel, and the southern kingdom, Judah. So when y'all hear talking about some, is you a Jew or is you an Israelite? Stupid nigga. To be an Israelite, to be a Jew, you have to be an Israelite. The word Jew comes from the word Judah. He's the fourth son of my forefather, Israel. So when I hear people saying like, y'all, we not confused, you're confused. The kingdom split. You have a northern kingdom and a southern kingdom. The northern kingdom was Israel. The southern kingdom was Judea. So biblically speaking, Jews are Israelites, though not all ancient Israelites were specifically from Judah. So what he's saying is this. What the computer is saying is this. Jews ethnically are Israelites, but not all 12 tribes of Israelites are Jews. So y'all probably said, damn, what are you saying? Oh, that kind of went over my head. That's kind of deep. No, it's not deep. Judah sat down. Paul, he was a Benjamite. He was from the tribe of Benjamin, but he sat down in Judea. These were the tribes that were trying to keep the law, but eventually they fell off too. John the Baptist was a Levite, although he sat down in the kingdom of Judah, but he's still an Israelite. It's 12 of them. It's 12 tribes. So the northern kingdom, well, you got Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Naphtali, all these were the northern kingdom. They still Israelites, but it's two kingdoms. It's split. This is what y'all don't understand. This is what Christ actually came to bring the two kingdoms back to one. You read that in Ezekiel 37. This is what Paul's going out to do. What we come out to do. We come out to tell you, you ain't no damn Gentile. You an Israelite. You need to get back over here and keep God's laws, statutes, and commandments. Christ died for you to return. This is what we go out and do. This is the same thing Peter, Paul, John, all of them is doing the same work that we go out here to do. That y'all say we preach hate. That y'all say we twist God's word. That y'all say that we a cult. Y'all say all the same things about us, and I'm gonna tell you what's crazy. Do y'all know they said that about the disciples? They called them a cult. Everything y'all say about us is the same thing they said about the disciples. That's why I know I'm grounded in the right thing. I'm doing the right thing. So let's keep going. Let's see if we can find some more. So now let's get down to come up some. Regarding Josephus specifically, Josephus is an important source, but historians also recognize that, see, this is what they do. Everybody that debunks Eurocentric teaching, they say, yeah, he was a bad scholar, but he was cold. His writings were particular political and religious purpose. He was not documenting every migration that occurred afterwards. So they say, well, he didn't document. Well, he documented they went into Africa, but he didn't document everything after that. This is the game they play. This is the game. I'm reading to you about a cold historian, and they saying, yeah, he did do that. He was wrong, but he didn't talk about just once they migrated, where all did they go? This is the game they like to play, man. But if you don't know it, then you're gonna be hit. So I wanted to come out here and sit down and talk with y'all for a short moment. You know what I'm saying? And show you these historical records, these historians saying that we migrated into the west coast of Africa. You have three top Arab scholars. You have Josephus, a Roman historian. Everybody debunks what they teach over here in America. But y'all look at us and say, y'all preach hate, y'all this, y'all hate. No, it was hate to tell you Christ was a white man. It was hate to tell you that Christ loved everybody. It was hate when they told you God was everybody's God. It was hate that when they taught you the Bible, they didn't taught you to hate yourself and to hate everything that looked like you. That's what they taught you in Christian insanity. I'm showing you everything they're saying. Basically, they lie. Now, this is my thought. If I would lie about the characters and the color of the people in the book, you mean I'm gonna tell the truth about the message? I'm gonna lie about everything, but the message I'm gonna keep real. Think about that, man. Because no matter what y'all say to us, we're going to be out there every Saturday. We're going to beat them corners till our God come, and we're going to see who's still standing. With that, we are the ISUPK at 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under the commanding General Yohana. To all my blacks, Hispanics, and Latinos, and it's going to be a part two of this because I got a lot more, but the library's shutting down, so I got to get up through, We got these books we can show you. We got so much. See, y'all think the thing about y'all is y'all think we just use the Bible. The Bible's a history book, but it backs up. What I'm showing you is what the Bible said about the children of Israel. I'm showing you what historians are saying. Everybody is saying something different than what they teach over here in America, and this is something crazy. Do you know everybody is going back into the records? German debate scholars say they want to debate this Eurocentric teaching. You can look it up. Say, did the German debate scholars say they want to debate this Eurocentric teaching about the Bible? because they say the people up and down the Levant was black. The Canaanites. You have to ask yourself, if it went from the Garden of Eden to the land of Canaan, and the Canaanites possessed that land, the Canaanites come from Ham. Then you got to say to yourself, well, the people in the Middle East had to start off black. It went from the Garden of Eden to the land of Canaan. And then when we took it, it became Israel. So them people, they was black. The Sumerians, I showed you some pictures. These people existed before any of them people, them Persians, before the Persians, the Arabs, all that. I have all that documented. And it's not coming from the black Hebrew Israelites. It's coming from the Arab scholars. So this is the crazy thing. I'm about to flip it for you. While y'all over here talking shit about us, why the Arabs is backing up our claim? You have a lot of white folks coming out backing up our claim. And this is the craziest thing I ever thought. They beat Christianity into you. You learned Christianity in slavery, and it been passed down from generation to generation. So my question to all of y'all that say we preach hate, well, since y'all know the Bible so well, why they didn't preach John 3:16, for God so loved the world, in the 1600s during slavery? Y'all are part of the Baptist church. Do y'all know that the white folks created the Baptist church? That's how you're a Baptist, because a white man made you a Baptist. Your niggas always follow behind them. So my question to you again, where was John 3:16 in the 1600s, in the 1700s, in the 1800s with these forefathers that created the church? Why they didn't teach John 3:16 then? We are the ISUPK 125th Street, Harlem, New York. To all my Black, Hispanics, and Latinos of Negro descent and of Native descent, this message is for you. Time getting short. You better get down before Christ coming. You lay down. You lay down. He's sending fishermen out right now. We the fishermen. He said after he sent fishermen, read the scripture, he sent hunters. And he used the children of Israel. He said we are his battle axe, his weapons of war. Y'all, I forgot. Y'all don't read that type of stuff in the Bible. Y'all want to read like we under the table footies and all that type shit. With that, shalom.